The aroma of freshly baked apple pie, a scent that had always been Eleanor's calling card, seemed to be losing its battle against a faint, almost imperceptible undercurrent in her cozy Victorian home in Pasadena, California. Eleanor, a spry 72 with a twinkle in her blue eyes and a penchant for tending her prize-winning roses, couldn't quite put her finger on it. It wasn't unpleasant, not exactly. More like stale, old. Her grandson, 10-year-old Mikey, used to be glued to her side, eager for stories about her days as a Rosie the Riveter during World War II or her adventures backpacking through Europe in her youth. Lately, though, Mikey seemed to keep a respectful distance, his nose occasionally wrinkling ever so slightly when he hugged her. Her daughter, Carol, always insisted on opening windows after her visits, claiming it was just a little stuffy in here, Mom. Even the friendly cashier at the local Ralph's, a young woman named Tiffany with bright pink hair, would lean back a tad when Eleanor paid for her groceries, a polite but noticeable shift. One cool California evening, as Eleanor lay in her antique four-poster bed, the moonlight casting long shadows across the floral wallpaper, Mikey's innocent question from earlier that day echoed in her mind. He'd been helping her sort through old photographs when he'd paused, looked up with wide, earnest eyes, and asked, "Grandma, do old people smell different?" The question, though childlike in its delivery, struck Eleanor like a physical blow. She blinked back tears, a lump forming in her throat. Smell different? Is that it? Is that why? The pieces started to fall into place. Mikey's subtle hesitations, Carol's sudden need for fresh air, Tiffany's slight retreat. It wasn't malice, Eleanor knew. Her family loved her fiercely. But the realization that there might be an invisible barrier, a sense she herself couldn't detect, was deeply unsettling. The next morning, Eleanor found herself glued to her laptop, her fingers flying across the keyboard as she searched for answers. Do older people smell different? The search results were a revelation. Article after article, forum discussion after forum discussion, all pointing to the same thing: a subtle but distinct body odor associated with aging, often unnoticed by the individual themselves, but perceptible to younger noses. They even had a name for it in some circles: the old person smell. Dr. Alistair Finch, a gerontologist from UCLA with over 40 years of experience, popped up in a video. His kind, grandfatherly face and reassuring tone drew Eleanor in. He spoke candidly about the biological changes that contribute to this phenomenon. He explained how the eccrine, sweat glands, responsible for producing odorless sweat for cooling, become less efficient with age. This leads to a decrease in the flushing out of toxins through sweat. Instead, these metabolic byproducts can accumulate on the skin, feeding bacteria and producing a faint, musty odor. Dr. Finch also discussed the increase in a lipid called 2-nonenal, produced by the skin's natural oils in individuals over 50. This compound, absent in younger people, has a distinct grassy, waxy scent that no amount of perfume could truly mask. To top it off, he explained how reduced saliva production in older adults creates a drier mouth, a breeding ground for odor-causing bacteria, leading to chronic bad breath, even with diligent brushing. Eleanor felt a wave of relief wash over her. It wasn't her fault. She was meticulous about her hygiene, showering daily, using talcum powder after, and always wearing freshly laundered clothes. But Dr. Finch's words resonated deeply. It wasn't about cleanliness, it was about biology. Empowered by this newfound knowledge, Eleanor decided to take action. Dr. Finch's video offered practical, simple solutions, and Eleanor was determined to try every single one. First, she focused on the hidden bacteria zones Dr. Finch had mentioned. In the shower, she paid extra attention to the folds of skin behind her ears, under her arms, even though she didn't sweat much there anymore, under her breasts, and around her navel. She used a soft washcloth and a mild, lavender-scented soap, gently but thoroughly cleansing these often neglected areas. She even bought a long-handled brush to reach the skin on her back more effectively. Next, she tackled the hairy areas. While her once thick auburn hair had thinned over the years, she made a conscious effort to massage her scalp more vigorously while shampooing, ensuring she was removing any accumulated sebum and dead skin cells. For the fine hair on her arms, she made sure to lather thoroughly with soap. The sweaty zones, her feet and hands, received special attention. Eleanor started scrubbing between her toes with a nail brush and drying them meticulously, especially before putting on her support hose and comfortable walking shoes. She even bought a couple of extra pairs of shoes, rotating them daily to allow them to air out. She sprinkled a bit of baking soda inside her favorite gardening clogs overnight. Eleanor also made a conscious effort to drink more water, just as Dr. Finch had suggested. She started her day with a warm glass of water with a squeeze of lemon, replacing her usual morning cup of strong black coffee. Throughout the day, she kept a water bottle by her side, aiming for at least 6 8-ounce glasses. She even switched her afternoon Earl Grey tea to a refreshing peppermint infusion. Inspired by Dr. Finch's encouragement of light exercise, Eleanor reinstated her daily walks around her blooming rose garden. The gentle California sunshine felt good on her skin, and the light activity, even just for 20 minutes in the late afternoon, felt invigorating. Eleanor also paid closer attention to her diet. She started incorporating more antioxidant-rich foods into her meals, a handful of blueberries with her morning yogurt, sliced tomatoes in her lunchtime salads, and an apple as an afternoon snack. She even tried adding a small clove of minced garlic to her pasta sauce twice a week, hoping for that internal cleansing effect Dr. Finch had described. She consciously reduced her evening glass of Chardonnay to just a few sips and opted for herbal tea instead. Greasy takeout, a once-in-a-while indulgence, became a rare treat. Her oral hygiene routine also underwent a revamp. Eleanor had always brushed twice a day, but now she added a third brushing after lunch. She invested in a soft, bristled toothbrush and made sure to brush for a full 2 minutes each time, paying attention to her gum line and the back of her mouth. She also bought a tongue scraper and, despite the initial awkwardness, used it every morning. Finally, she started chewing sugar-free gum after meals to combat her increasingly dry mouth. Lastly, Eleanor turned her attention to her surroundings. She started washing her sheets and pillowcases every week, marveling at how fresh her bed felt. She made a habit of opening the windows in her house for 10 minutes every morning and evening, even on cooler days, letting the fresh Pasadena air circulate. Weeks passed. Eleanor diligently followed Dr. Finch's advice, noticing subtle changes. Her skin felt less dry, her mouth less parched. But the real test came during Mikey's next visit. As he bounded through the front door, his usual energy filling the house, Eleanor held her breath slightly as he ran to hug her. This time, there was no hesitation, no subtle wrinkling of his nose. He squeezed her tight, his small arms wrapped around her waist. "Grandma," he said, his voice muffled against her sweater. "Your roses smell so good." Eleanor's heart soared. It wasn't just the roses. It was her. Later that afternoon, Carol didn't rush to open the windows. Instead, she sat beside Eleanor on the porch swing, sharing a cup of tea and chatting about her week. Tiffany, at Ralph's, leaned in to compliment Eleanor's new scarf, her smile genuine and unreserved. Eleanor realized that Dr. Finch was right. It had never been about being dirty. It was about understanding the biological shifts that come with age and taking simple, proactive steps to address them. It was about reclaiming that invisible connection, that comfortable closeness with the people she loved. And as she sat in her sun-drenched garden, the scent of roses mingling with the fresh California air, Eleanor knew she had found her own renewed sense of confidence and well-being. The grandma smell was fading, replaced by the sweet fragrance of care and self-respect, drawing from the insights shared by Dr. Alastair Finch in the video Eleanor watched, and further elaborated upon through Eleanor's personal journey. Here is a comprehensive breakdown of practical advice to address and minimize age-related body odor. 1. Focused cleansing of key body areas. It's not necessarily about the frequency of showering, but the where and how you clean that makes a significant difference. Focus on these often missed areas where odor-causing bacteria tend to thrive. Skin folds. As skin loses elasticity with age, it forms folds and creases in areas like the back of the neck, behind the ears, under the arms, beneath the breasts, around the navel and groin, behind the knees, and inside the elbows. These areas trap sweat, sebum, dead skin cells, and bacteria. Actionable tip: use a soft washcloth or a gentle loofah with warm, not hot water, and a mild soap to thoroughly cleanse these folds during each shower or bath. Be gentle to avoid skin irritation. Consider using a mild antibacterial soap a few times a week, but avoid harsh soaps that can dry out the skin. Hairy areas. Hair, whether on the scalp, chest, underarms, or elsewhere, can trap sweat and sebum. Actionable tip: when shampooing, use your fingertips to gently massage your scalp for at least 30 seconds to ensure thorough cleansing. For other hairy areas, lather well with soap, rinse completely, and dry thoroughly. If you have dense hair in these areas, consider trimming it to reduce the surface area for odor to cling to. Sweaty zones. Feet and hands. These areas are rich in sweat glands, creating a moist environment conducive to bacterial growth, especially when feet are confined in socks and shoes. Actionable tip: scrub your feet thoroughly, paying close attention to the areas between your toes. Dry them completely after washing, especially before putting on socks. Wear breathable cotton socks and change them daily. Rotate your shoes to allow them to dry out completely between wearings. Consider using foot powder with odor-absorbing properties. Wash your hands frequently throughout the day, especially after activities that might make them sweaty. 2. Simple daily habits for internal cleansing and odor reduction. These lifestyle adjustments support your body's natural detoxification processes and contribute to a fresher scent. Hydration with warm water. Drinking sufficient water is crucial for overall health, and warm water, especially on an empty stomach, can aid in flushing out toxins through the kidneys and bladder. Actionable tip: aim for 6 to 8 8-ounce glasses of warm water throughout the day. Start your morning with a glass of warm water and have another before each meal and before bed. Be mindful that caffeinated beverages like coffee and tea can be dehydrating, so compensate with extra water intake. Gentle sunlight exposure and light exercise. Mild sunlight can help kill surface bacteria on the skin and boost mood. Gentle exercise, like a 20-minute walk, promotes light sweating, which helps to naturally cleanse the body of toxins and improves circulation, contributing to healthier skin. Actionable tip: incorporate a short walk outdoors into your daily routine, ideally during the cooler parts of the day, before 10 a.m. or after 4 p.m., to avoid excessive sun exposure. Even short periods of gentle movement can be beneficial. Remember to wear sunscreen if you're out for longer periods. Mindful bathing practices. While daily bathing is important, The temperature and duration of your showers can impact your skin's natural barrier. Actionable tip: opt for comfortably warm water, around 100–104 degrees, instead of steaming hot water, which can strip your skin of its natural oils, leading to dryness and potentially trapping odor. Consider a weekly soak in a warm bath, around 100 degrees, for 15–20 minutes to help open pores and release deeper impurities. Always dry your body thoroughly after bathing, paying extra attention to skin folds. 3. The impact of diet on body odor. What you eat significantly influences how your body processes waste and the odors it releases. Antioxidant-rich foods. Oxidation, a natural process of cellular breakdown, can contribute to body odor. Antioxidants help neutralize odor-causing toxins from within. Actionable tip: incorporate a variety of antioxidant-rich foods into your daily diet, such as berries, blueberries, strawberries, apples, tomatoes, leafy greens, brown rice, buckwheat, and whole grains. Garlic in moderation. While raw garlic can cause temporary breath odor, its digestive process can actually help fight off bacteria and toxins contributing to long-term body odor. It acts as a natural antibiotic. Actionable tip: include 1 to 2 cloves of chopped or roasted garlic in your meals daily. Roasting mellows the strong odor. Hydrating fruits and vegetables. Water-rich produce aids kidney function, facilitating the removal of waste through urine rather than through the skin. Actionable tip: consume hydrating fruits and vegetables like watermelon, pears, cucumbers, and tomatoes regularly. Limiting odor-aggravating foods and beverages. Certain substances can exacerbate body odor. Actionable tip: limit your intake of coffee and alcohol, as they can be dehydrating. Reduce consumption of greasy, fried, and low-fiber foods, which can slow digestion and lead to waste buildup. Opt for herbal teas or barley tea instead of alcohol. Increase your fiber intake through oats, brown rice, beans, and vegetables to support healthy digestion. 4. Maintaining optimal oral hygiene. Bad breath is a significant contributor to perceived old person smell and is often due to dry mouth and bacterial buildup. Frequent brushing. Bacteria multiply rapidly, especially in a dry mouth. Actionable tip: brush your teeth 3 times a day, in the morning, after lunch, and before bed. Use a soft bristled toothbrush and fluoride toothpaste, focusing on the gum line and the back of your mouth. Tongue scraping. The tongue harbors a significant amount of odor-causing bacteria. Actionable tip: use a tongue scraper every morning to remove bacteria and debris from the surface of your tongue. Saliva. Stimulation. Reduced saliva flow contributes to dry mouth and bacterial growth. Actionable tip: chew sugar-free gum, preferably xylitol-based, for about 10 minutes after meals to stimulate saliva production. Additional oral care tips: sip warm water throughout the day to stay hydrated and keep your mouth moist. Avoid alcohol-based mouthwashes, as they can further dry out your mouth. Opt for mild, alcohol-free alternatives. Rinse your mouth with water after every meal, if brushing isn't immediately possible. 5. Addressing smell traps in clothing and environment. Even with excellent personal hygiene, lingering odors in your clothes and surroundings can negate your efforts. Daily change of underwear and socks. These items absorb sweat, sebum, and bacteria, especially in warmer areas. Actionable tip: change your underwear and socks every single day, even if you don't feel particularly sweaty. Choose breathable cotton fabrics. Weekly bedding wash. Your bed accumulates dead skin cells, oils, sweat, and bacteria. Actionable tip: wash your sheets and pillowcases at least once a week in hot water. If possible, line dry them outdoors, as sunlight's UV rays have natural antibacterial properties. Shoe rotation and care. Shoes trap foot sweat and become breeding grounds for odor. Actionable tip: alternate between 2 or 3 pairs of shoes to allow them to dry out completely. Sprinkle baking soda inside shoes overnight to absorb moisture and odor. Occasionally place shoes in direct sunlight for about 15 minutes to help kill bacteria. Regular room ventilation. Stale air traps odors. Actionable tip: open windows for about 10 minutes in the morning and evening to allow fresh air to circulate, even during colder months. 6. The importance of gentle self-care and consistency. Remember that addressing age-related body odor is an act of self-care. Be patient with yourself and focus on consistency with these simple habits. You are not alone in experiencing these changes, and with a few mindful adjustments, you can feel fresher, cleaner, and more confident. Key takeaway: the subtle body odor sometimes associated with aging is primarily due to natural biological changes rather than poor hygiene. By understanding these changes and implementing simple, consistent habits focused on targeted cleansing, internal hydration and detoxification, dietary adjustments, diligent oral care, and addressing environmental odor traps, individuals can significantly reduce or even eliminate this odor, leading to increased confidence and closer connections with loved ones. A message of empowerment. It's crucial to remember that experiencing these changes is a normal part of the aging process. There is no shame in it. The power lies in understanding the science behind it and taking proactive steps to feel your best. You deserve to age with dignity, comfort, and the freedom to enjoy close relationships without self-consciousness. Call to action. We hope this video has provided you with valuable insights and practical tips to address any concerns you might have about age-related body odor. If you found this information helpful, please take a moment to like this video and share it with anyone who might benefit from it. Subscribe to our channel for more empowering content designed to help you navigate the aging journey with grace and confidence. We'd also love to hear from you. In the comments below, please rate this video on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the most helpful. Your feedback helps us create content that truly resonates with you and guides our future topics. Thank you for being a part of our community. We're honored to walk this path of aging with you.